Hi, and welcome to our visit to the wonderful Carbourg on the Normandy coastline. This is sort of the final destination of this trip. As always, the journey started at the Eurotunnel in Folkestone before we head south down to Normandy. The only difference, this is our first international road trip in our Polestar EV. Our first stop was Bayeux for 2 nights, and then we took a scenic trip to our next destination of Dives-sur-Mer. All of the locations on this trip have had history and culture in mind, and Carbourg's no different. A playlist will be available at the end so you can catch all of our travels. Now, Carbourg sits to the west of the River Dives and Dives-sur-Mer, and it's a very different feeling than its older sister. So we're going to start by crossing the River Dives as we stayed in Dives-sur-Mer, but it's only a 5-minute walk along here to the tourist office and the start of our adventures. And we're going to discover a couple of sides to Carbourg. We're past the town's war memorial. It has a very serious grown-up side, but it's also a place built for pleasure. As we arrive at the town hall, we're also at the top of the Avenue de la Mer, and it'll come as no surprise this is going to lead us all the way to the sea. It is lined with cafes, brasseries, bars, restaurants, tourist shops and so much more. In places it can look a little tacky, but in general there's a lot of fine places to eat. And if you fancy a drink, you can find a bar, but it may be pricey, just so you know. And now I need to throw this out there. If you're enjoying this video, then please give us a like. And if you enjoy our style of video, then why not subscribe and hit that notification bell? We'd appreciate it. Now back to Carbourg. The Avenue de la Mer is only about 500 metres long and will take you about 10 minutes to cover, if you decide you're not going to stop and take a peek at a menu or get tempted by something else. Maison Florin Carbourg called us. That's an ice cream parlour on the corner. And another place that tempted us was the interestingly named restaurant Le Hastings. Someone's got a sense of humour. It's a great little brasserie with a selection of local offerings on the menu. We tried it and we enjoyed it. Once you pass Le Hastings, you arrive at the Jardin du Casino and Carbourg in its full Belle Epoque grandeur. And the Belle Epoque, or beautiful era, was from the end of the Franco-Prussian War in 1871 to the outbreak of the First World War. But Carbourg started in 1853, when this was just nothing more than sand dunes, next to the fishing port at Dives-sur-Mer. The arrival of the railways had opened up the Normandy coastline to the modern phenomena of tourists. And by the 1880s you had a modern tourist resort, complete with grand hotel and casino. It also brought an extensive array of luxury villas, and some of them looked like they should come straight out of a movie set. And talking of movies, I do wonder if the casino here at Carbourg may have been the inspiration for the casino in Ian Fleming's Casino Royale, which in the book is set in a fictional Royale Laeur on the Normandy coast. Who knows? Of course it could have been Deville or Treville, other Normandy resorts that grew up around the same time. If you want to catch a glimpse of Deville, then make sure you don't miss the final episode in this series, an overview of the road trip where we pop into Deville on the way home. I've got to be honest, we didn't go into the casino. It's not our sort of place. And also, I'm not entirely convinced they'd be happy with us filming. And we were more interested in what was on the other side, and that's the promenade. Here you've got the beautiful golden sands of the Normandy beaches, and also a selection of those villas again. I guess a number were lost in the Second World War. What wasn't lost was those miles and miles of golden sandy beaches. Now a quick question for you. Has anyone visited Carbourg or headed along that Normandy coast? What's your thoughts? What's your favourite destination? And do they remind you of English seaside resorts at all? I think they share a similar history, growing up in the Victorian era, surviving into the 20th century, before falling out of favour in the 70s and 80s and finding a rebirth in the 21st century. Now let's take a look at those villas. And if you pop into the tourist centre, there's a map available with a list of the most impressive ones. It also includes Hallgate, which is the other side of Dives-sur-Mer and a similar resort to Carbourg. I'll include a link in the description to a copy of that map. It is in French, but hey, it helps me with my franglais. There are 30 villas listed, so let's see how many we can see. They were the homes of the rich, the famous, artists, and also one rather notable novelist, Marcel Proust, who used Carbourg in a fictionalised form in his novel À la recherche de temps perdu, In Search of Lost Time, said to be the longest novel in the world, spanning 7 volumes with 4,300 pages in the English translation and some 2,000 characters, said by many to be the greatest author of the 20th century. I have to say, as we walk these streets, it does take you back to a bygone era, and it's amazing how quiet they are when you compare it to the Avenue de la Mer. And all these streets are just a few hundred metres from it. And we are left thinking, who lives in these places? Sure, some are guest houses, but there is also a sense of community. And much to our surprise, we come across a game of pétanque being played. Is there anything more French? All I'm missing is a man in a stripy top with onions round his neck and a baguette under his arm. Okay, I'm being too stereotypical. And you know I'm only joking, don't you? As we close in on our last villas, and I don't know how many we've seen, we arrive at the Villa du Temps Retrouvé, a museum dedicated to the Belle Époque and the world of Marcel Proust. And for us, it's time to return to the Avenue de la Mer, and we're looking for somewhere to eat. We're really spoilt for choice, but we settle on l'atelier, which translates into the workshop, or so Google tells me. Once again, a great experience, great staff, great food, and a fantastic way to end our time in Carbourg. I have to say, in all the time we've spent here, it's felt clean and safe and really a pleasure to explore. So as our visit comes to an end, it's just time to say thanks so much for watching. I really hope you like what we put together. Stay safe, stay well, and happy travels.